I want to tell you today a very, very short story about the good side, the human element hidden in social media. Let me just share it in one more place. Um, and here we go. So, hi everyone. So, today I want to share with you the great side of social media and what happens when you really make connections online. So, a few years ago, actually, it was 2012 to be exact. It was June 14, 2012. Actually, a little before that, I was going through a really, really rough time in my life. And I was looking for all kinds of ways to, get help online. And so I went to the YouTube University, as we all do, and I looked for tapping. The regular one where you tap and you kind of release your you release you release everything that you have. You tap 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 tap. And the person that I found like the best videos is Brad Yates. And I reached out to Brad Yates and I asked him if I can interview him on my show, and he said yes. And so we did that. We interviewed her, like, I'll show you actually how long ago that was and how funny. This is me back in 2012, back when Hangouts were very, very, we kind of still tested them. And this is the wonderful Brad right here. And he's talking about his life and why he's doing all the amazing things that he's doing and how he's helping people and why tapping works. And even he takes us through a little tapping thingy. And you can see I bring people into the conversation so they can talk to him and ask him their own questions and actually, interact with the guests, because that's my style. So after that, Brad was sending me, he sent me a book. Let me show you. Kind of losing my mouse here. There we go. So he wrote this awesome, awesome book. It's called The Wizard's Wish. And my son was very young. I think he was 2 years old. And Brad dedicated, let's see if you can see that, dedicated the book to my son. And this book is about how to get the yuckies out of your brain. There's like an anger yucky, and there is there we go, a yucky, see? So there's different kind of yuckies, and there are anger and sadness and fear. So every time my son was feeling bad, we would do this. We're like, okay, let's get the yuckies out, right? Let's get the yuckies out. So how does this apply to today? So I am on Facebook and I get a request from the amazing, let me see her name, Laura Anderson. And we start talking about like, hey Laura, what are you doing? How do you find me? What's going on? And she said she's into tapping. And I'm like, really? Do you know Brad Yates? And she's like, well, I've heard of him and I'm gonna go see him in Australia in May. And I was like, really? I love the guy. Look, I interviewed him and we talked, but I've never actually met him in person. And I really doubt he remembers me. So when you see him, would you give him a hug and just say, hey, this is Fat? I don't know if you remember her, but she still thinks the world of you and super grateful for the time together and everything that you're sharing on the web. So would you give her a hug? And look what this amazing lady did. She actually put that in her diary to remember to give Brad a hug from me. So what's really super cool about this is that through social media, through the internet, I got to meet an amazing person. I got to interact with him, interview him on my show, get the experience of talking to him and all that stuff. And now years later, I will able to give him a hug, physical hug, like this, all across the ocean. I'm in Austin. He's gonna be in Australia, and he's still gonna get a physical hug from someone that I met on social media. So this is where the human element actually comes in. Hey Elizabeth, hey Jason, hey Michael. So this is where the human element comes in. When we use social media right to connect with people like that, then memories and experiences and things that really matter, that connect people on a human level, can take place. So when you are using social media correctly, these relationships will happen and you'll meet people all across the world that will connect with you, not just for selling, not just for pitches, but actually on a human level, and it's beautiful. So I hope you all have an awesome day. It's almost the weekend, And you also get to experience this type of like, soul lifting experiences. And Brad, if you're out there and if you remember me, I'm going to tag you. There is a hug waiting for you in May in Australia. I hope you enjoy it.